So I am a mystery shopper. I have been a mystery shopper for 15 years. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I've been a mystery shopper for 15 years, and I never in my life thought I would ever be a mystery shopper. Nothing against mystery shoppers. It just wasn't, I never thought on my bingo card, you know? But what happened was, and I'm going to make a very long story as short as possible. When I was 22 years old, I started an adult toy company called Glass Full of Pleasure. Well, I did not know that that company was going to grow so quickly and become so successful in less than a year. It became so successful that another much larger company than me in the United Kingdom wanted to buy my little tiny adult toy company. So I sold it to them. And so I thought it was a good deal back then. Again, I was a young entrepreneur. I didn't know much, but I thought it was a pretty good deal and would set me up for a little while I figured out my next venture. So I sold the company. I sat around for a couple months. I'm like, gosh, okay, freedom is great, but I'm bored AF. And so I was like, all right, I got to get out there and do something. And my boyfriend at the time had a sister who was a paralegal, and she offered me to do process serving. I loved process serving. I still do. The only reason I stopped is because a woman shot at me and tried to run me over. And that was, I've been through some dangerous stuff before as a process server, but at that moment, I'm like, maybe it's time to hang up my tennis shoes, because this is rough. I'll have to explain that one later, and I have videos about it. Oh, hi, Kim Bell. Thank you for the follow, Kimberly. I like how you spelled your name. You're so strong dealing with the jerks on here. I appreciate it. It gives me a little comfort knowing that there's all creators, that have actually gotten a little bit popular, get haters, but it still drives me crazy the fact that there's so many nasty people out there, that are just bullies. But anyway, that's a side thing. Maybe one day the world will change, right? Let me turn off my phone or we're never going to get peace. So anyway, I got bored. I started process serving. I really loved it, but it wasn't mine. It wasn't mine. I was just going to say I'd like to do that until you mentioned, oh yeah, I have plenty of stories about what I went through as a process server. That was just one of the ones that it was like, okay, we got to stop this or we're going to die, at a very young age. I wasn't into it. So process serving for less than a year. And then I was like, this has been great. I'm not going to stop, but I'm going to slow down and I'm going to go start another business. And for some reason, I was like, I think I want to own a restaurant. I had never owned a restaurant in my life. Now, I have been an assistant manager of a couple restaurants like fast food, and as a waitress, like I did that. I worked fast food. I worked as a waitress at Waffle House, third shift, by the way. I deserve a medal for that. I survived that. Um, 6 months working third shift at Waffle House. Boy, do I have some stories, most of them way too inappropriate for social media. Um, and I was the manager of an Altel. Like I had all this experience, but I never owned a restaurant. So I was like, if I'm going to own a restaurant, I'm going to need someone that has more experience than I do. I'm the business side. I went to school for entrepreneurship and business, but I need someone that knew more about the actual restaurant industry as an owner or a manager. I found someone after digging through social media and going through entrepreneur, private groups and stuff. So, me and this business partner, we signed contracts, we go into business together. We open our very first restaurant called Wing Nuts in Harbison, South Carolina. Usually when restaurants open, like almost every business, it takes 2 to 3 years to even start seeing a profit. Well, we were the exception, shockingly, because we were making money hand over fist. We were doing so well that we started opening our second location in Lexington, South Carolina within the first year of opening our first location. That is almost unheard of unless you are like Chick-fil-A, okay? Like on that level. So I'm excited, he's excited. I had no idea that he was embezzling money from our business. We were doing so well, and I have a whole long drawn out story of what made everything fall finally, but it was really bad. So we started this restaurant at the very end of 2011. Now it's late 2013, and I'm exiting the business because at that point I realized how much money he had been embezzling from our company. And I'm like, I'm getting out before anything else falls. Well, as I'm exiting the company with a lawyer, and this man, my business partner at the time, still to this day owes me $70,000. That is a seven, a zero, a comma, and three zeros after that. Just me personally, not other people. So got out of the business, and I planned on going on with my life, doing something else, like opening a food truck, taking my favorite employees with me. However, my private life started to fall apart at the same time I was exiting this restaurant, and I had no choice. Even if I tried to backtrack, like, I still was going to lose money. I'm with a bad person, it's failing, there's no going back. But in my personal life, I found out that my boyfriend, then now fiance at the time, had been cheating on me even while we were house hunting to buy a home, and had no intentions of buying this house with me and moving in with me, even though we were about to drop the deposit and go through it all. I found out he had someone on the side. Fun times. So I'm like, okay, our lease is about to go up. He's about to go live God knows where, with this new woman. Where am I going to go? I couldn't move back home with my mom because even though she invited me, she was taking care of my grandmother who had Alzheimer's. If you know anything about dementia and Alzheimer's, you don't mess with someone's schedule and how they're living. You just don't. And I wasn't going to do that to my mom, let alone my grandmother. So I'm like, I do have money in the bank, but if I go out and get my own apartment, I am going to go through that money so quickly. So I had to make the choice to be homeless. I lived in my Ford Exploder, thank God, for only 2 months, but that was the longest 2 months of my existence, I believe, because I never, ever in a million years thought I would be in that predicament. Now, there were some nights I stayed on people's couches. There were some nights I treated myself to a low quality motel just to have a bed. But that's what I did. So as I'm living in my car, I was only like a few days into it while I'm figuring life out. I find out I have cancer again. I had already survived cancer in my late teens, early 20s. Now I have cancer again. I survived colon cancer at a very young age. I have a whole book about that and the story behind that. And now I have skin cancer on my left foot. So, my idea of using my nest egg to open up a food truck and start all over and eventually end up in a brick and mortar store was gone, was absolutely gone. Um, I now can't go get a job just like a regular person because I'm about to have all these kinds of procedures and surgeries and treatments. I can't just go apply for a job and be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be gone more than I'm going to actually be here, and I'm going to need to take off all this and be inconvenient to you. Like, it just wasn't going to work. So I literally lived in my car. And then I'm like, you know what I can do? I haven't been processing very much for 2 years, just here and there when they were desperate. I'm going to go back to the law firms and I'm going to beg for my job back. And that's what I did. Thank God I worked so hard as a process server because I had over a 99.9 percent success rate. So all the law firms hired me back. I promise I'm going to get to the point here, but you need to hear the backstory first. So I started working for all the law firms again, and one of the law firms said to me, Kayla, while you were gone, we gained a client that is a mystery shopping company on retainer. Mystery shopping companies, like all companies, even mine, you have lawyers. So I'm like, okay, and am I gonna serve papers for this company? Like, why are you telling me this? And the lawyer was like, no, Kayla, they need more mystery shoppers in the state of South Carolina. Do you want this job? And I was like, well, I mean, I guess so. I know what mystery shopping is. I've been mystery shopped as an employee. I hired a very small marketing company in the town that I had my restaurants in to mystery shop us. I actually failed one of our mystery shops and I blamed it accidentally on my employees till I found out it really was me. That's a whole nother funny story. But I was like, sure, okay, why not? So I'm already out all over South Carolina serving papers, stalking people. Why not go through a drive-through and walk into a convenience store every once in a while, make a couple extra bucks? I had no idea that was going to change my life literally forever because I loved working for that one single mystery shopping company so, so much. I still work for them to this day, and I am one of their top mystery shoppers. So, after doing that for 2 or 3 months, I'm like, okay, I'm only working for one mystery shopping company. They don't have a lot of contracts, so that means there's got to be more mystery shopping companies out there. So that's what I did. What I did was is I emailed that company. I said, I love this so much. I'm not going to leave you, but I would like to know about more mystery shopping companies because they have to be out there. You can't be the only one. And they were so nice. They were like, sure, shot me over an email of like 3 or 4 more companies. So now I'm working for more companies and I'm loving it. I am loving it so much. It's not only helping me pay my bills and get out of my car and not live in my car forever, but I'm getting free groceries, free clothes, going to the movies for free that took my mind off all the craziness and the fact that I'm living in my car. Like I felt human. I felt human and I felt like there is a way out of this. I never knew how slippery of a slope homelessness really was. You're always this close to being there. It really changed my perspective on life and my judgment of homeless people. Thank goodness. So, anyway, I'm loving it. I'm working now for, 4 or 5 companies. 3 months later, now I'm sorry, 6 months into it now, I'm working for 4 or 5 companies. I'm like, okay, so I'm working for all these companies. I'm taking all the jobs I can, but I still have so much time on my hands. I know I could do more. How can I find more mystery shopping companies? Well, do exactly what you did with the first company. Email all those new companies and ask them the same question. Simple, right? No. So I emailed all of these companies again and I asked for more companies. Silence, complete and total silence. And I'm like, huh, okay, well, I know I'm not the only person on the face of the earth and they don't have to drop everything to answer me, but it's weird that they call me, text me, and email me almost daily begging me to do more jobs, but they won't answer this particular email. So I'm like, okay, again, I'm not the only person on the planet. They have plenty other people they have to schedule and talk to. I'll just send them another email in a week. And that's what I did. Complete silence. Even when I emailed the original company I started working for again, complete silence. I'm like, okay, I am very stubborn. That's not always a good thing. Um, so I'm like, you know what? I don't need these companies to tell me about their other mystery shopping companies. I know how to use Google. I know how to use Ask Jeeves. I know I'm dating myself with Ask Jeeves. And that's what I did. I typed in mystery shopping companies, and pages and pages and pages showed up of mystery shopping companies. I'm like, see, I did it. I don't need them. Boy, was I wrong. I did not know or think it through the fact that scammers use mystery shopping to scam people. And all they have to do is make a half looking legit website and ask the same questions that the legit mystery shopping companies do, like what is your full name, what is your birth date, your social security number, your address, a picture of your ID, where you've lived in the last 5 years, your resume of where you worked, like all of this personal information that all the legitimate companies asked for. Why would I think on earth that I am falling for a trap? Well, that's what I did. Out of like 100 new mystery shopping companies I signed up for in that week, 60% of them were scams. And I did not know that until months later when letters were coming in the mail stating that I had accounts all over the world and the United States. I had accounts in Dubai. I have never been to Dubai. I have never bought anything from Dubai until this year. I had to try the Dubai chocolate. It really isn't all that great. It's overrated if you ask me. But that is the only transaction I have ever had with anything in Dubai. There was medical debt in my name from states I had never been to before. It was so awful. So awful. So I realized that I've been played, and the jobs that I took from these fake mystery shopping companies, you know, they didn't have any. There was no way to go after them. They scammed me. They're from other countries or hidden behind the dark web. So I'm out all of that. And I never got paid for those jobs that I did for them because they were just fishing for my information. Now, another 20% of those companies I signed up for were actually legitimate mystery shopping companies. And, sorry, I've got a troll. Um, they were legitimate mystery shopping companies. And I did everything I was supposed to. I signed up with them. I started taking jobs. I started doing jobs. Everything was fine until it was time to pay me. They would write me and say, "Oh, Kayla, we can't pay you for this and that. Like, you didn't leave a comma after this word in this sentence, or you didn't take the picture of that sign exactly in the center." It was really weird stuff that I had never heard of before. So I'm like, this is weird. Well, I'm just not going to accept any more jobs from these companies. Come to find out that those were legitimate mystery shopping companies, but they were in financial debt. Like, they were, of course, they were in debt, and their boat was sinking, their ship was sinking. So in order to hold on, they were doing kind of like a pyramid scheme. What they were doing was they were letting people like me, mystery shoppers, take jobs off their boards, do the jobs, then they were submitting the jobs back to their client, getting paid for them, and just telling us that we couldn't get paid because we did the job wrong. Come to find out, because I was still very new in the mystery shopping world, that there were mystery shoppers that came together and sued those companies. Now they're blacklisted from the mystery shopping world. Even the owners of them can never start up a new mystery shopping company. So there's different ways to get scammed as a mystery shopper, is what I'm trying to explain. Now, the other 20% that I signed up with in that time period were actually good mystery shopping companies, and I still work for them to this day. They have helped me change my life. But that is how I became a mystery shopper. And I started off working with only like 4 or 5 companies. Now I work for almost 100 mystery shopping companies. I have my own. I am connected with the mystery shopping companies not only in the United States, but Canada and the United Kingdom as well. I am currently working on Australia. And by the end of 2026, my goal is to be all over the world wherever mystery shops are. Like when I go to Costa Rica 2 days after Christmas, I am going to be mystery shopping in Costa Rica. I will be mystery shopping at the airports on my way to and back home, doing mystery shops. I absolutely love it. And because I'm going to Costa Rica to mystery shop, that whole trip, minus entertainment, is a tax write off. Because mystery shopping is self employment. There are so many benefits of being self employed. Even if you have a full time job, you can still be self employed doing something else that's yours. And we'll go into that more. And I also go deeper, a lot deeper into that in my program. But that is how I became a mystery shopper. Now, the question I get all the time after that is, why do I have a mystery shopping training program and why do I charge? And I love to explain that. So when I came on TikTok in August 2023, I had no idea I was going to be teaching mystery shopping. I actually had a soap business, 2 of them, called Carolina Soap Works and the Medicinal Soap Company for over 10 years. They were very successful soap brands that I built in my mother's kitchen. I started that business in late 2014 14. As I was still mystery shopping, as I was still process serving. Again, I'm an entrepreneur. That's what we do. I grew that business so big that we were on Amazon. We were in big box stores. We were in little stores. I was in the Southern Living magazine. I was on talk shows. I was on podcasts. You get the idea. Things went south when the pandemic came, and it washed my little factory away. We were making at the time 20 to 30,000 bars of soap a month, not just for my brands, but for other brands as well. So it was so hard to have to let my employees go during the pandemic. One, I didn't have enough hours for them. Our supply chains were broken. Thank God I still had process serving to hold me up and mystery shopping. My best years of mystery shopping were actually 2017 and 2018. So I still had those funds as well, keeping me through and through the pandemic. We had a lot of mystery shops, believe it or not. A lot of them were just going into stores, making sure they were making people wear a mask. That's what I got paid to do during that time as a mystery shopper. So my after the pandemic came, and in early 2023 I went to my marketing team that I had for over 10 years as well, and I said, I don't know how to bring back Carolina Soap Works and the medicinal soap company, because my business literally got washed away, but I love it so much. I have helped so many people with their skin problems. I don't want to just let it go. And my team was like, well, you're going to have to get on social media more. I'm like, guys, I post every single day on social media. They're like, yeah, you post a picture, you talk about the benefits of your products, but you don't go live, you don't post videos, like you just post a picture. And I'm like, okay. They're like, so you're going to have to start going live and making videos. For those of you that don't know, I'm autistic. I have Asperger's. That makes us very blunt people. We're good people. We're just very blunt. We see everything black and white. There is no gray area, really. And a lot of people don't understand people with autism. And I knew that because the world is not a kind place to people that are different. So I was always terrified of going live and making videos. I mean, even when I was on talk shows or podcasts, like I wrote everything out that I was going to say, and I stayed exactly on course, just so my weirdness, I used to call it weirdness, wouldn't show, because that can put people off a little bit if they don't understand you and your heart. So my team was just like, Kayla, if you want to be successful, if you want to bring this, I agree with you, Carrie. Everyone is different. I wish more people understood that. I really do. I really, really do. Maybe one day I'll get the memo out to everyone. So they're like, if you want to be successful and bring Carolina Soapworks back and the medicinal soap company back to where it was, you're going to have to go live. We had this conversation in early 2023. It took me all the way until August 2023 to post my very first video on TikTok ever. It was awkward. It was cringe. I'm just sitting in my living room in my little basket chair swinging, saying, hi, my name is Kayla. I've been a soap maker for over 10 years. We're going to be making soap together, cutting soap together, boxing soap together, while I tell you my outrageous, crazy stories of my life as a process server, my private life as a soap maker, owning a restaurant, all of those things. And I had no idea that that was going to change my life forever so quickly. Within 2 months of just going live every day, making soap, cutting soap, boxing soap, telling funny stories while doing it all, I gained 20,000 followers so quickly. And I'm socially awkward, and I didn't think people would really like me or want to hang out with me in my lives, but boy, was I wrong. Boy, did that help my self esteem. So in October 2023, I got so comfortable with my audience. I was like, I want to show them more of my life than just soap making. I want to show and share with them some of my side hustles, which was process serving and mystery shopping. So I took my audience with me live on TikTok to do a mystery shop at a McDonald's off of Piney Grove Road in Columbia, South Carolina. Some of you may know exactly where I'm talking about. I had no idea, because I can't predict the future, how awful of a mystery shop this was going to be. So we get to the speaker, because it was a drive-through mystery shop. I place my order. Bless the heart of the woman that took my order, but it was so obvious that she hated her life. I hated that for her, but she failed automatically. She was just awful. There's no way to describe it unless you watch the video. So then we placed our order, and I'm like, oh God. Then we get to the money window, the payment window. Same lovely personality took my payment and practically threw my receipt at me and slammed the door. And I'm like, okay, so we're still doing really well. Then we get to the pickup window, and the gentleman, if you want to call him that, that was at that window looked like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. And he thought he was God's gift to women. It looked like to me that he got to work early that morning before they turned on the fryers, stuck his head in the fryer and just whipped his head back and did that comb back. That's what he looked like, but in a really, really bad, unbathed way. But he thought he was a ladies' man because he opened that window kind of in a sexy way. He had my order in his hand, and he brought it to me, to my window. And as I go to get it, he snaps it back. He's like, you got to be quicker than that. Made me think of that stupid, I shouldn't say stupid, it is funny, that commercial, the insurance commercial. You got to be quicker than that. Maybe he saw it on TV, but he kept doing it. He did it like 2 other times. I finally got pissed off when he did it again. I just grabbed it and I'm like, thank you so much. After he gave me I grabbed my order, he looks down my dress. It's apparent he is looking down my dress. He's doing the peace sign. I'm not going to do it to you because I respect you. He does the peace sign. He sticks his tongue through the peace sign and wiggles his tongue at me while saying to me, if I am not satisfied, just come on back inside and he'll satisfy me. Okay, we obviously failed. From beginning to end. I just drove away in shock. And I'm live, mind you, on TikTok. We park. We start to open the bag, and go through the contents. And the fries, before I even tasted one, you could tell they were cold, they were old, they were stale, they were gross. Then we opened the burger. All the condiments that were supposed to be in the burger were on top of the bun, under the bun. Okay, the ketchup, the mustard, the onion, all on the top of the bun. The poor pickles are hanging on for dear life on each side of the burger. The cheese was maybe a third on the meat, but wasn't even slightly melted. It was just a cold piece of cheese on a cold burger. It was awful. But there was no way in HE double hockey sticks that I was walking back in that store to tell that man that I was not satisfied. You get what I'm saying? If I was really hungry, I would have eaten out of that dumpster next to me that I was parked at before that. We all laughed about that when I was live. And I'm like, all right, guys, you got to see exactly what I did. I came home and I downloaded that live and I uploaded it the same night. Just thinking it's just another funny story. People are going to see what a mystery shopper is like on a bad day, and they're just going to enjoy it. That is not what happened. It went so crazy. That video went so viral. In 48 hours, I went from having only 20,000 followers to over 50,000 followers. Millions of people had seen it. Almost 1 million people had shared it. People were commenting. To this day, that single video has over 10 million views. It's still going viral. The news even picked it up. the news and also the other news outlets like Daily Mail and Board Panda. Like that video and my mystery shop was plastered everywhere. So, what happened then? I got on live again the next day. I start making soap, cutting soap, boxing soap, and nobody cared about my soap anymore. Nobody. They were some were nice about it. Everyone cared about asking the three same questions over and over and over again. How can I be a mystery shopper? How much money do you make as a mystery shopper? Will you teach me how to be a mystery shopper? Now, at first, I started giving away free advice because I'm always wanting to help people. It got me out of homelessness, it got me out of poverty, it changed my life forever. But it got so overwhelming because as time went by, which what didn't take long, the same questions over and over again when I was live, people would interrupt me. My soap sales plummeted. We spent so much money rebranding my company, but by me showing everyone that I was a mystery shopper, again, nobody cared about my soap anymore. Everyone wanted to be a mystery shopper. And I didn't know what to do. So I went to my marketing team. I was like, guys, you know, all that money and time we have pumped into, you know, getting Carolina Soapworks back on the map and popular again. You know, all the time, all the giveaways, all of this stuff we've done. Well, I just shot it all to death. Like it's gone because this is what I did. And I felt so bad. I was like, I never in a million years thought that me just showing other aspects of my life would damage us like this. I just wanted to be a genuine person showing people that I do many things to survive on this planet and life is not perfect. And they were like, "Well, Kayla, it looks like you're going to be teaching mystery shopping." And I'm like, "It doesn't look like that." Again, I'm autistic. We don't like change. We are comfort zone people. I had been a soap maker for over 10 years. You just telling me that day, them saying that I would no longer be a soap maker was like punching me in the gut really, really hard. Like, that's my baby. I grew that from nothing, and I've done it for so long, for over a decade, and now you're like, we're just going to throw it away and start something new I've never done. No. And I fought that. I did. And they're like, "Well, Kayla, good luck having success with no sales and being interrupted every 5 seconds when you're live and in your videos about soap, people wanting to learn how to be a mystery shopper." I'm like, "All right, you have a point." So from the end of December 2023 until April 2024, we developed a mystery shopping training program. Now, this is where me and my business partners fought again. They were like, "We are going to charge $997 for an annual fee for people to learn how to be a mystery shopper." I said, "Guys, you guys are insane. You have lost your freaking mind because it's one thing to sell, you know, premium soap online, but it's another to ask strangers on the internet to pay another stranger on the internet $1,000 of their hard-earned money. That is not going to happen. No one's going to sign up. I'm going to look like a fool and I'm going to feel like a fool." They're like, "Kayla, you and your knowledge are worth that. You are going to change lives by teaching people how to mystery shop." Pretty much not giving a man a fish, teaching them to fish for themselves. I still didn't agree. But I had two business partners at this point, and I was the minority vote. So, what we did is we opened in April 2024, and it was $997 to be a member in my program for an entire year. I was in such shock that the very first day we opened the doors, 20 people signed up for my program and trusted me with $1,000 of their hard earned money. I had no idea that that day of 20 people was going to turn into over 2,000 people in less than 2 years. We have changed the lives of over 2,000 people. Did everyone succeed? No. And we'll go into that in a few minutes. But those 20 people are my family to this day. Even though they graduated my program, I actually let them stay. They are lifetime members. They never have to pay a dime again, because if it weren't for them, I would not be where I am today, and we would not have been able to help over 2,000 people become financially stable and change their lives in so many different ways. I get a little emotional about this because I didn't even believe in myself that I was worth $1,000, per person, but they did. They trusted me. They saw value in what I was offering, and they took the dive, and I changed their lives. So, anyway, that is how my mystery shopping training program came to be. And I will never change it for the world. I helped a lot of people with my soap, but helping someone with skin issues, all different kinds, is way different than helping, single moms on welfare buy their first home, helping women that were in really bad, abusive, long term relationships. One of them was in a relationship or married for 20 years to a very controlling, abusive man. And I got her out of that situation. She got herself out of that situation through mystery shopping in 3 months, almost 3 months. It was a little less than that. Yeah, life isn't perfect for her, but she's on her own again. She has a safe apartment, her own car, and she's going back to school to be, she's going back to community college to get her um, associates in early childhood development. That was her dream since high school. And yeah, she might be a little late to the party, but that's not stopping her. And I am so freaking proud of her. I have helped an 82-year-old woman, now she's 83, get her life back. She lives in California. Her retirement and her Social Security just no longer cuts it. It pays the minimal bill she has, but there's barely anything left. She was barely able to really buy groceries. She really had to ration out how much she fed herself because it just wasn't enough. And that makes me sick alone. That's a whole nother rant of mine. Because I believe if you've worked your entire life, even as a homemaker, you should not have to live like that in your golden years. And that really bothered me. But her goal was only to make $400 extra a month. That would have brought more groceries in. That would have given her the money she needed to go to brunch, a couple Sundays after church with her friends. It would give her money to go to bingo. She loved bingo. Now, Miss Joyce, even at 83 years old, makes close to it. It's like a little less or a little bit more than 1,000. So averages $1,000 a month mystery shopping every single month. All she does that she tells me, she could do more, but probably won't tell me. But she does Five Guys and apartments because apartments pay really well. They pay really well, and that's how she gets the bulk of her money. And she just loves Five Guys. And if you learn in my program how to play the weight game, can't talk. I usually don't go live during the day. I go live at night. So this glare is making me a little weird, so I apologize. So anyway, she loves going to Five Guys, but Five Guys is really expensive. And if you learn in my program, like I teach you how to get more money for these jobs, they will be way worth your time. So she's just living her best life at 83 years old. She very sassy woman. She loves to brag about going to brunch with her friends and being able to drink her friend Darlene under the table because Darlene can barely get through one mimosa or one Bloody Mary, but she can take down at least two and a half of them. I love that woman. She loves to talk about a man at bingo that keeps grabbing her butt, but I think she actually enjoys it in a weird way. But she loves to talk about it. I love that woman so much. And she's able to buy her grandchildren and her children and her one great grandkid birthday gifts and Christmas gifts again. She just feels like she's a human and she feels like she matters. And she even said it helps her depression because she just feels like she's still giving to society in some way and getting to live a little bit better than she was. So I absolutely love every single one of my members. I really do. Now, some people we had to refund because it really wasn't for them. They lived in areas where the closest mystery shop, the closest single mystery shop, was 2 hours away. That's not worth it. We're not going to hold you captive and keep charging you money. That's not how we work. I know there are a lot of crazy rumors and misinformation on here about me, but if that's how my business really was, we would be sued, and our payment processing company that we use would not let us use it anymore. Like, there's regulations and rules and laws out there, and if I was breaking them, I would not have a business. I know some people just don't understand how business works, but that's just not how it works. Unfortunately, I have haters, and they're either jealous or they just love the drama. So if you actually have a question and you want to ask it respectfully, I am beyond happy to answer those questions. You graciously refunded me for that reason. Yep. Yep, I remember you. Yes, I know exactly who you are. You're in California, aren't you? You were one of my very first members as well. But yeah, we will definitely not take your money and say, well, sorry that didn't work out for you. That's not how we operate. That would be, no, that would be a very disgusting, horrible, and dishonest thing to do. Hi, Donnie Pooh. So, again, that's how my business came about, my mystery shopping training program. Now, the other question is, what do I get if I join your program? If you join my program, you not only get the list of all the legitimate mystery shopping companies, but I help you learn how to do all the different jobs in every single industry, from McDonald's, like fast food, all the way to hotels, cruises, high-end retail, fine dining, airlines. I mean, you get the idea. But you cannot go from 0 to 1,000 overnight. Just like a baby, you have to crawl before you walk. You have to walk before you run, because none of those companies are going to hire you to do those bigger, better jobs if you don't have experience doing the little ones. Lisa. Oh, hi, Lisa. Hello, Kayla. I have had some bumps in the road, but when I get over them, I will be back. Oh, yay. You know what? I was talking about you the other night in our community meeting, and I was talking to you with my business partners. We really miss you. We do. We would love to have you back. Oh, Lisa Coffee is awesome. I love my members, all of them, even the ones that couldn't stay for various reasons. And that's another thing. Lisa was in my program. She had to leave for a little while. We obviously didn't hold her hostage. She was able to go. We did not continue to charge her. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Thank you. We are good people. So please do not believe the craziness out there. It hurts my feelings that people would believe that about me, but I get it. I'm a stranger on the internet, and when the hate and misinformation is loud, you kind of want to believe it. So, no hate, but I understand the worries. But if you have any questions, truly feel free to ask them here. I really am an open book. I saw some comments earlier. McDonald's has gotten horrible everywhere. We have 2 closed close to my home, and both have gone downhill. They really have. She does mystery shopping. I just want to know what restaurant this is. I was talking about McDonald's. That's funny, that girl. What the heck did I come into? If you come in the middle of me talking, yeah, it does get confusing. Yes, Kayla is the best. Thank you. Thank you. Wifey Shark, I like your name. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you can add hot fudge to a McFlurry. That is interesting. This is that scammer report, and you are the exact person I'm talking about. Please stop listening to the misinformation. If I was a bad person and I really was a scammer, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. I'd be sued and in jail. Thank you, Wesley. I didn't know you were here. Wesley is also a member in my program. Hi, Perfectly Imperfect. So when you join my program, back to that, you get the entire list of all the legitimate companies, not just in the United States, but all over Canada, all over the United Kingdom, and my goal is by the end of 2026 to have from all over the world. It just takes time because some countries have less than others, and of course, there's no mystery shopping in the desert or in the rainforest. So we're figuring all that out. Now, when you sign up with these companies through my list, there is no resume, there is no interview, there is no rug test. Put a D in front of rug. I can't say the word, obviously. So you're not begging for a job, you are not applying for a job, you are automatically working for that company once you sign up for them. And once they verify that you are a real person, your social security matches your name, all of that stuff, you're going to be able to self assign the jobs that you want. That can get really exciting, but it also can be very overwhelming. And I help you with all of that in my program. Girl, they are still talking about that? Yes, unfortunately, Wifey Shark. It's died down quite a bit because I've posted so many receipts. Yeah, but oh yeah, there will always be haters. There will always be haters. Wesley, I sneak in just for people like that. I sneak in just for people like that. I appreciate that, Wesley. Katie, how do you get paid? Just by the orders I just came from. Oh, for your page. So thank you for asking that. I was going to go over it, but I'll answer that now. So everything we did in November, we get paid for this month. So everything you do the current month, you're going to get paid for the following month. Some companies and some jobs, not many, will pay you much quicker within a week, 2 weeks, or less if they're really desperate to get a job done and they know that that will entice you to do it. It will pay you right away, But the majority of them pay for everything that you do the next month. And they will call you and call you and call you. Yes, they will. Once you are in these mystery shopping companies and they trust you and you do the jobs you sign up for and you do them correctly and you listen to me in my training and you fill out your report the right way professionally, these companies will love you. You're going to build a rapport with your schedulers. They're going to call you, they're going to text you, they're going to email you begging to do more jobs. They're going to offer you jobs that are not even on the job board. They're going to offer you crazy bonuses. The most I ever got paid for a Five Guys job was $50, and they start off at $9. And as the month goes on, they keep increasing it. But they were so desperate to get this Five Guys done before the end of the month. I got paid $50 to order a burger, okay? I have people in my program, unfortunately, I didn't have these jobs around me, that were able to go to Burger King. All they had to order was a Whopper Junior. They had to use a digital thermometer. That's a tax write-off. You can even get those at Walmart for like less than $5. They had to take the temperature of the burger, take a picture of it, and they were getting paid anywhere from $50 to $75. All they had to do was take one bite of it. If they didn't like it, they could have spit it in a napkin. They just had to taste for the freshness and if it tasted like a Whopper. Can you imagine getting paid $50 to $75 to take a bite of a burger and check the temperature? That's the kind of stuff we do. Like I said, unfortunately, I didn't have those jobs around me, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to move wherever you live and kick you out so I can have those jobs. But we do stuff like that all the time. It is so, I love mystery shopping. Lisa, coffee, just jealous they don't have your success. Oh, I hate to think that because success is for everyone. But if you're not a nice person, the universe isn't going to give you success. We are our thoughts. We are how we treat people. Display capture. If I message you where I live, will you tell me if there is a high demand for mystery shopping? I used to do that for a lot of people, but I'll do it for you. It just gets really overwhelming. But we can start that again. Maybe I need to get a virtual assistant. But yes, if you send me a private message, give me your zip code and how far you're willing to drive out. If you're only willing to drive out like 20 miles, this isn't going to be for you. Just keep that in mind. Unless you live in a really popular area like Orlando, Florida, that's where one of my youngest members are. He signed up with me in the beginning. He was 21 when he started. Now he's 22. This is no exaggeration. I made him prove it to me many times. He makes on average $6,000 to $7,000 a month mystery shopping in Orlando. That is far more than I make. Far more. I make $4,000 a month as a mystery shopper. But he just kills it. That is not the average. That is not normal. So don't think that, oh my God, I'm gonna make $6,000 to $7,000 a month. That's not normal. He's just in a really incredible area. Now I have Wesley on here. He makes between I think $5,000 and $6,000 a month. He lives in Nashville, but he travels some. He's one of my big success stories too. Sorry, I'm trying to read y'all's comments so I don't get lost. Here we go. Lisa, I have done Five Guys for $35 multiple times. Yep, I get a lot of them for 30. Rarely do I see 35. Maybe I'm not waiting long enough. Katie, it was 20 for the burger though. Did you get paid that too? Yes. So everything you have to buy, you also get reimbursed for it. Otherwise, it really wouldn't be worth my time. I wouldn't be able to make a living off of it. So everything they make you buy, from going for an eye exam and buying frames for your glasses, to buying a burger, to buying a plane ticket, a hotel ticket, you get reimbursed for all of that. Yep. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll down the comments. There we go. Everyone I got, CC, everyone I go to Burger King, it is cold. I agree with you. But I'll still get paid $50 to $75 to tell the company that. Lex, she can't. She has zero sources. I have no idea what you're talking about, Lex. I missed something there. You're welcome, Stephanie. Katie, okay, thanks for answering. You're welcome. We also teach you in my program how to make routes. I live in the middle of nowhere. I live on 23 acres in the middle of Newberry, South Carolina. I live in a very small town. So if I just did mystery shops in my very small town, I would not do very well. I would possibly, on the high end, make $50 a month. So I have to drive 24 hours, 24, two, I have to drive 45 minutes to an hour out of my way to make this work for me. And I do it in a radius. So some days I'll go this way, some days I'll go that way, some days I'll go this way, some days I'll go this way, to all different areas: Columbia, Lexington, South Carolina, Greenville, Spartanburg, South Carolina. Behind me is Augusta, Augusta, Georgia, and then in front of me is Rock Hill and Charlotte. So, but whatever direction I go in, I'm going out there to make money. I'm not leaving my house 45 minutes to an hour away just to make $10. That's dumb. I make hundreds of dollars a day, and I teach you how to do that in my program. I teach you how to do your taxes properly with the right deductions, because as a mystery shopper, you are self-employed. That means you get to use tons of legal tax deductions, and you pretty much break even as a mystery shopper. So when tax time comes, you really don't have to worry about having so much money to pay in taxes, because your tax write-offs should cross out your taxes that you have to pay, because I teach you how to get the most. Oh, sorry, TikTok wants me to prove I'm human. Still human. Put the puzzle piece in the puzzle. Okay. So anyway, long story short, I teach you how to do your taxes and all the legal tax deductions you can do. So that you don't have to pay any taxes or very few. This was the first year in 15 years I ever had to pay taxes on my mystery shopping income. I had to pay a little less than $200. That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. I think I made a mistake in my tax deductions because I really shouldn't have paid anything at all, but that's on me. And I still think $200 doing this for 15 years isn't so bad. Stephanie, I am less than 2 hours from Nashville. Maybe I will go there and make it like that other guy. Yes, there are so many jobs. And even though Wesley is in that area and he's killing it, there are still so many jobs that he can't do because there's so many jobs and he is one individual. He can't get to them all. People worry about mystery shopping being oversaturated with lots of mystery shoppers. That's another thing I was going to talk about anyway. So there is no such thing. um, people think that there's only a few mystery shopping opportunities out there when there's really so many. And mystery shoppers are very gate kept because they don't want to share their resources. And think about it this way: you find a chest full of treasure, you're not going to blow the whistle for everyone and their mama to come take some of your treasure, especially if you don't understand that there's more than enough to go around for almost everyone. So the word, that's why when you look up mystery shopping, it's very hard to find information and legit information because people don't like to share it. When I first started mystery shopping, I didn't tell anyone that I was a mystery shopper for almost 2 years, if not longer, because I had that mindset. And I was the only that I knew about. I was the only mystery shopper in South Carolina. And I mean, I was killing it. And I wasn't going to let someone else take my jobs no matter how much I loved them. You got a job. Let me have mine. When people would ask me, what are you doing? I would just be like, oh, you know me, selling on eBay, selling pallets, process serving. I would just make up stuff, but I was actually mystery shopping along doing all of that. So don't worry about it being oversaturated. Yes, Nashville is huge, absolutely, and the surrounding areas. Even when I go to Chattanooga, Chattanooga is big but small at the same time. I make a couple $100 when I drive there. It's 4 hours away from me, but I'll stay the night in a hotel. And even if I don't have the hotel as a mystery shop, I just write it off on my taxes. Oh, sorry, my cat wants to come say hello. I also teach in my program the best kind of apps to have as a mystery shopper. And I don't mean mystery shopping apps, I mean apps to help you be more successful, work smarter, and just be more organized. I teach you how to stay organized as a mystery shopper. I teach you how to work with your schedulers to get more money for your jobs. We offer so much. We have coaching calls every single week. They used to be during the day on Monday and Tuesday, and that worked for a long time. But as we got more and more members, most of them could only attend in the evenings. So we did a poll and asked our members to tell us what time and day would work best for them. And we found out Mondays and Tuesdays evenings were the best. Sorry, were the can you go please, they don't need your input. Thank you, have a nice day. um they sorry, cat. um we realized that Monday and Tuesday evenings were the best fit for everyone. So we switched that. And now every Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Kim, who was the very first person to sign up for my program, she handles those coaching calls. And then I handle Tuesday from 7 to 9 as well for the advanced mystery shopping members and for the brand new people that just joined, so I can say hello, we can have a conversation, get to know each other, and they can ask me any questions that they're struggling with because they just signed up, or maybe they don't understand how to navigate our community quite yet. So Also, I forgot to tell you guys that we are no longer the Kayla Laughs Out Loud Mystery Shopping Training Program. I released this information last night. I completely forgot to start with that today, but now we have more people watching, so I'm glad I waited. So, we are no longer the Kayla Laughs Out Loud Mystery Shopping Training Program and Community. Because when I started this channel, I was making soap, and Kayla Laughs Out Loud fit perfectly. Well, now we've become more professional, more grown up, and now we are the Secret Shoppers Society. We are working with more mystery shopping companies, and they're actually partnering with us. We're working with more companies in general, like businesses. We are working with other professionals out there that are like schedulers in the mystery shopping world, and it's just really awesome. We are able to offer more than we ever did before because we have grown so much. I even have guest speakers coming into our meetings that teach about video mystery shopping because that is a thing. I know y'all see me video mystery shopping, and that's a little different. I'm doing it to show the world that mystery shopping is a legit side business. You can also turn it into a full-time job, like a small handful of the members in my program. I've had people in the medical industry, like nurses and administration, quit their job in the health care field to mystery shop full time instead because they make more money and it's less stressful. I even have a lawyer that did the same. So you can do a lot with mystery shopping. There really is no limits. You can do it as a side gig, a part-time job, or you can go full throttle like me and those members I just mentioned and make this your full-time income. Lori, how are the dogs doing? Sheriff is still sick. I'm worried about him, but there's nothing I can do but ride it out. But Maddie's perfectly fine and healthy as can be. Simon, hi. In a recess area and only a few named businesses within a 50-mile radius would be possible. You can send me a private message with your zip code, and I can look up the 50-mile radius and give you an idea. I won't be able to go to all almost 100 mystery shopping companies, but I have other resources that I can get. I can type in your zip code and see a lot of the jobs, just not all of them. And if you're in my program, then you would already know that service, but obviously I'm not going to share that with the world because that's part of what I do. So you have to be in the program to know about that resource, but once you sign up, you'll have that resource. Forgot where I was. Oh yes, so we switched from the Kayla Laughs Out Loud mystery shopping training and community to the Secret Shopper Society, and I am just so excited. I think I can share my logo with you guys. My channel will remain Kayla Laughs Out Loud. Let's see. Maybe I'll just have to do a post about it. That's my community that y'all are seeing right now. I'll just have to make a post about it. I don't have it up. But yes, this is my community. My business partners and my web design person are in here right now cleaning things up and switching over to Secret Shopper Society, so I won't show y'all around, but I did last night before the chaos. All right, guys, any more questions? I'm sure I forgot something. Thank you for the follow. I was about to say your name and then it disappeared. If y'all don't mind liking and sharing my live, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Serial Scroller. I love your name. Thank you for the follow. So if you did hear me, I don't mind doing it for a few. It's just when I kept talking about it in my videos, our inbox filled up so quickly. If you are legitimately interested in being a mystery shopper, but you want to know if your area is going to be good enough, I need you to send me a private message on TikTok with your zip code and how far you're willing to drive out. If you're a traveler, if you travel a lot, you're going to have a lot more success. But if you want me to look, I don't mind, but just be sincere that you truly want to try this, so I'm not just wasting my time. But I will be honest with you, and I will show you and tell you what it looks like. Now, using the tools that I have, it's not going to search all 70 plus companies. It's almost 100. It changes all the time, and I keep up with those lists, but I can at least give you a really good idea. And I can also help you with that by saying again, I live in the middle of nowhere. I have to drive 45 minutes to an hour out of my way. Now, there are members that live in huge areas or right next to them that kill it with no effort, just like my young man in Orlando that makes $6,000 to $7,000 a year because he is literally in the middle of a gold mine for mystery shopping. I have members that are in Houston and Dallas and other big Austin, Texas. They're killing it. They are absolutely killing it. I don't know their exact numbers, but they're doing very well. They're doing as much as they want to do. We'll put it that way. Then I have members just like me that live in small towns. I have one that lives in Alabama. She lives in the South Alabama. I don't know exactly what area, but she has to drive 2 hours away from home for the day to make it worth her while, but she loves it. She's one of my very first members that signed up as well, and she's still with me and doing it. So everyone's life is different, everyone's schedule is different. You do need to have your own transportation for the most part, unless you live in a area that has cheap or free public transportation. So if you live in New York City, you're going to kill it without needing a car. You're going to do very well. You could just stay in New York City and live off of that. You'll be able to eat for free, get free groceries, go to entertain yourself at Broadway shows, go to the really expensive high-end stores. You're going to be just fine. I actually had a member in New York City that killed him killed his opportunity to be a mystery shopper. That's a whole crazy story. If y'all want me to share it, I'll be happy to share it. It's embarrassing what he did, but he ruined his career as a mystery shopper by doing a very stupid thing. Um, if y'all want to hear that, put it in the comments. Like your mind will be blown just how some people are just so stupid. Like I so want to do this, terrified that I will lose what state benefits I have. So I don't know if you heard me, but in my program I teach you how to do your taxes the right way, so that won't happen. I have people in my program that are on all different types of assistance, government assistance, and it's all legal. It's all legal. Sunshine, yes, tell us. Okay, let me turn off this music. Okay, Google, stop the music. Okay, so I'm just going to call him Jay. So I had a member named Jay that signed up a little less than a year ago. He lived in New York City. He was also a fireman, so he didn't need this as a full-time job, but he did it often. He did it for a while. A couple months he was doing well, and he was making more than a part-time job doing this, the money he was bringing in. He was very happy. He loved to brag about all the jobs he did in our community. He was a really good person, I thought. I thought he was going to go very far. Until he took a job for Buffalo Wild Wings. I do those jobs all the time. They're very easy. All he had to do was go into Buffalo Wild Wings, be seated. All he had to do was order an appetizer or an entree and order an alcoholic beverage. That's all he had to do. He had to evaluate how long it took from the moment he placed his order until the moment the order was in his face. Okay, and evaluate the customer service. How many times did the waitress check on him and refill his drink? You know, normal stuff. Well, he finished the mystery shop. Then he came home to do his report. And one of the questions in the report was, how did you feel about the portions of your meal? Do you feel like they were adequate? Do you feel like it wasn't enough? What do you feel like? A normal person, not even super professional, would answer that question saying, because he didn't feel like it was enough, would just put, I felt like it wasn't the proper portion. I felt, a little cheated. There's nice ways to put that. No, he didn't put that. He put, I felt effed. The real word for effed. Yeah, yeah. He put in that I felt effed. Submitted the report. The report came back to him within hours later, and the editor was just like, did you mean to type this? No, effed as in the bad word. No, 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 not full. I would have liked that, and he would have too, and he would have kept his job, but no, it wasn't full. Not at all. That's funny. So the auditor sent the report back and said, did you mean to type this? And instead of using any opportunity to lie out of this, like my favorite would have been like go to, I would have never done this, but if in a moment of, crazy, if the crazy light just clicked on for a second and I didn't catch it, my lie would have been, oh my gosh, I think that drink that you made me order was a little strong and I should have waited to fill out this report. I am so, so sorry. I meant to say I did not feel like the portion was enough and I did not feel full enough after my experience. No, no. He dug in. He dug in and wrote them back. I mean, he screenshotted all of this. I was in shock. All of us were in shock. And said, if I'm not allowed to be honest in these reports, I don't want to work for you MFers. You heard that right. If I can't be honest, I don't want to work for you MFers. That is a great way to say I resign. Like you shouldn't have even replied. So the mystery shopping company pretty much emailed him back with 2 middle fingers and told him that he would not be paid for his visit. He would not be reimbursed for his meal and his drink, and he had been blacklisted from their company. Well, not only was he blacklisted from their company, he was blacklisted from all of the companies, because even though in my program I constantly remind everyone that the mystery shopping world is a giant web and all of these companies are connected to each other, share information, I guess he didn't get that memo or remember, because that mystery shopping company that has the contract with Buffalo Wild Wings said, we're going to make sure this doesn't happen to any of our mystery shopping company friends. So he was blacklisted from all of them. He sends me a nasty email telling me that I failed him. I'm like, dude, nobody failed you but you. Okay, so we're gonna have to work on, responsibility, taking self-responsibility, and doing better in life just a little bit. Maybe critical thinking before we type. There's ways to go about that. I never in a million years thought I would ever experience that with an adult. So yep, that happened. So if you join my program, please don't do that. Please don't do that. If you don't know how to answer a certain question in your mystery shopping report, let me know. Let the community know. We will hold your hand. I even have a whole course on how to write a good A+ mystery shop report, and there's nothing in it about talking like that. So I wish he had taken it again, you know. But yeah, yep. Oh my goodness, guessing he felt entitled. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, like I had to block him off of email, social media, everything, because I failed him. I failed him. So yeah, maybe some of the hate on social media is him. He's like, she's a scammer because she failed me. I'm like, I did not type that. I did not dig my heels in and tell them I don't want to work for them MFers if I can't be honest. So, yeah. Yeah. And we've only had to um, get rid of 2 people in the community ourselves because they weren't a good fit. So, if you're crazy and you stalk people, we're gonna kick you out. We're gonna refund you, but we're gonna kick you out. That's a whole nother story. I wish Paul was on here. So Paul, one of my members who had been with me since March, um, there was a girl in our community that really had some mental health issues, and she was going on the men's profiles in the program, finding their state and their city and looking them up on like been verified or whatnot with the very little information she had, and was finding their phone numbers and God only knows what else, and just texting them like she did Paul. She texted Paul and she was just like, hey Paul, can I text you? And Paul's like, who the heck is this? And she's like, well, it's so and so from Kayla's training program. I found your name, your state, and your city, and I looked it up, and I found you. Um, and things got even weirder than that because then she started text because Paul was really nice. He's like, well, I guess, he should have said no and ran, but. Then after like 2 weeks of talking to her, little that he did, like he showed me the screenshots. He was really trying to be a gentleman, and not hurt this woman's feelings. She started to tell him that his daughter is going to start calling her mommy. So that's when he got me involved and my partners involved, and I was like, all right, it's time. So we went to her profile, like the back end of it, and noticed that she was going on all the men's profiles. And God only knows what she was doing there, but she kept visiting all the males in our community's profiles over and over and over again. So we figured, you know what? We should stop this. So we kicked her out, and she did not go very quietly. She was kicking and screaming. But just know that we don't play. We don't let crazy happen. If you're gonna start drama, we kick you out. Like just no, no. We're not going to do that. We had another member that just talked about really inappropriate things often, especially during our coaching calls. So we had to let him go. So we do have standards. We do. And we're here to protect you and help your bank account, not give you more stress. So sorry. Those to me are funny, and I like to be very transparent. No business is free of drama, but we try very hard to control it. Suzu, one can be honest without bad language. I agree. I agree. I have a mouth from the South, and even me, I've been learning to control it and use different words. That's why I say shiitake, instead of the other word. I really try. But definitely, I have never, in a professional setting or professional communication, used bad language. Yeah. That language, that laugh is like nails on a chalkboard. Well, why are you here, babe? Do you just like to be miserable? Miss Kayla, how are you, love? I'm doing great. Aw, thank you for the follow, my clean patio. Are you proud of your clean patio? I would love to know the backstory of that name. I love it. See, you are beautiful. Oh, I appreciate that. I'm almost down 30 pounds. And I'm feeling weird because I'm all disproportioned as I'm losing weight. So thank you. Suzu, to type it out in a report is crazy. I agree. Like you had to be there. Like you had to be aware of what you were doing as you typed out every word. And again, even if you were a little too intoxicated, maybe the drink was heavy. Even if it wasn't, I would totally lie and use that as my excuse, to backtrack out of my bad choice. But he didn't. He just dug his heels in. So that was interesting. That was interesting. All right, guys, any questions? Like I said, I'm an open book. Oh, thank you for the gift. I appreciate that. Thank you. If you don't follow me, I would love for you to follow me if you want to. I have funny stories. I share a lot of tips. I am, other than just being a mystery shopper, I am a holistic healer. I have my certifications in natural healing. I am certified in herbology. I do not take any medications from a pharmacist. I take care of myself naturally. I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. I'm also a past life regressionist. I am certified in that as well. So I have a lot to offer other than just mystery shopping. I hope one day to have a channel just about that side of my life. Hi, Nessa. Hi, Gizmo. It is not still $1 to join. We had that offer for 3 months because of the hate storm and people calling me a fraud and a faker, even though you can't be in business and be a registered business and have a payment processor or anything like that if you're a fraud. Um, so we had that for 3 months just so people could come in for 7 days for 99 cents, look around the program, see that people are happy. I provide a lot of value. So we couldn't do it for more than, we did it way longer than we really could financially. But now we're bouncing back. People are starting to understand I am the real deal. So the price now, we're switching websites. We're going from Kayla Laughs Out Loud, Mystery Shopping Training and Community, to now our new company, which is better than ever. We offer so much more, which is now the Secret Shopper Society. So what we're doing right now is we're going to start offering our regular monthly price, which is $97 a month, but we're going to allow people to pay bi-weekly. So um, half of it the first 2 weeks, and then the other half the next 2 weeks. A lot of people said that would work a lot better for them. And then we have a lifetime membership for only $599. So, in my opinion, the lifetime membership is a lot cheaper and more valuable because you get some more stuff in the community too. Why was there so much hate? There's a couple reasons. I understand that without knowing all the context of what people saw, that there was a lot of confusion, and a lot of people thought, especially in the beginning of seeing that video, and all the misinformation, that I was a bad person. I understand enough looking on the outside. If I saw what everyone else was seeing and I was not me, I would have had the same feelings. Now, the difference is, after sharing all the proof, after talking about all the proof, after explaining everything for over 3 months, we're in 4 months now. So, for 4 months, me constantly explaining, me constantly showing receipts, me constantly showing proof, now the hate is just a choice. And those people are either, I hate to say jealous because there's nothing to be jealous about. I live a very humble life. It's either jealousy or they just love the drama. And I took psychology for many years, and unfortunately, there are people out there that prefer to live in the negativity and keep the drama going because it gives them a sense of purpose. So they're on here on social media going, constantly, she's a scammer, she's hateful, she's a fraud, she's this and that. And even though they know and saw the proof, it just gives them, it makes them feel like they have power, And a lot of people don't like being proven wrong because they feel stupid. We're all wrong at some point in our life, and it doesn't mean they were always wrong. It just means that they thought a certain way about me, then I shared the truth, but they're like, nah, if I believe this and I admit that I believe this, then I was wrong. And that makes me feel stupid. So, Carmen, I saw it and moved on with my life. Yep. I don't care. It wasn't anything crazy. I agree. I agree, but I understood some people's points. I'm also autistic, so I know that the way I see things isn't necessarily how everyone sees things. You couldn't have explained that better. Thank you, Brandy. Sometimes I have a hard time explaining stuff, also because I'm autistic. So sometimes I over talk, and people think that's me trying to backtrack or me trying to cover something up. It's my brain going, like, okay, how can I get people that are not me to understand what I'm trying to say? So sometimes I just talk about it a little too long, but it's me just trying my best to get my message through. So again, this is why I never wanted to go live or post videos on social media, because I'm like, the world is not going to understand someone like me. So thank you, Brandy. You just gave me some confidence there. Oh, thank you, Carbutt, for the follow. I appreciate that. But if y'all genuinely, if you have any questions, I am here. I have nothing else to do. I will be live again at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. But if you have as long as you're kind about it, you don't call me a fat bitch. I get called that all the time. I'm happy to answer your questions. Thank you for the follow. I would say your name, but it disappeared so quickly. Yes, I know I'm overweight, and I know people love to bring that up. I saw a troll comment a minute ago. Yes, I do know I'm overweight. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. How would I ever have gone on with life? Everyone's so quiet. I don't want to just sit here and stare at y'all. No questions? Aw, thank you for the gifts, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follow. It's amazing how brave people are behind a screen. Amen. Amen. How do we know when a new class starts? So that's a very good question, Carbut. Thank you for asking. So a new class never starts. This is all self-paced. So you can join today, you can join next week, you can join next month. The moment you join, you're just gonna start. The thing says start here. I'm sure I could share my screen. I can't show you everything right now because it's under construction right now, but I can show you the gist of it. Tell me if you can see my screen. I'm still learning how to do this. Just type yes if you can. Okay, perfect. So when you join my program, you're going to start here, and it's going to go over the introduction video and sorry, it usually says the introduction video, but like I said, they're changing things around. So you're going to go through this page where it says start here, and then you're going to start the training right here where it says mystery shopping basics, and then advanced mystery shop. And these are about 50 minutes each. And you can stop, pause, replay, whatever you need to do to understand. This is our discussions board and questions. This is where you're really going to live. This is where all the conversations happen. I can't open it because obviously there's information there. But this is where all of us hang out daily. If you have a question in the middle of the day, we're going to answer you, me or another member, within 15 minutes or less. So it's pretty cool. Now, if you make a message, if you type a message or a question at 2 o'clock in the morning, probably going to take a little longer for us to get to you. But for the most part, most of the time, everyone gets answered within 15 minutes or less. This is for my lifetime members. They get a little bit of extra stuff. And then here's the mystery shopping company lists. Right here is our records. So I also teach you and show you our spreadsheet. You can customize it for yourself and make it where you understand it better, but it's to help you stay organized as a mystery shopper with all the jobs you do. If you live in the state of Nevada, Nevada has a really weird law that you have to be a private investigator in order to be a mystery shopper in the state of Nevada. And I show you how to do that. It's actually way less complicated than you think. And then here's some extra links. So I hope that helps some. And when you join, you'll actually be able to see everything. Oh, hold on. TikTok got mad at me. I'm going to have to appeal that. They said I've shown unoriginal content. That is not true, TikTok. And what is the name of that side? The name of what side? I'm sorry. Mr. Jason, I am paying $8,000 to the first. Oh, you're just a scammer. Now that is a scammer. For those of you that think I'm a scammer, that right there for Mr. Jason 8 is a scam. Please do not message him for $8,000. You will not get it. But he'll take over your phone or your computer probably. All right. Can we join, then later become lifetime member? Yes, absolutely. My webpage. Oh, my webpage, we're in the middle of changing it. I think right now it's still KaylaLaughs.com. It is about to be the Secret Shopper Society. I gotta go set an appeal with TikTok. Yep. Okay. I had to appeal that. Good afternoon, Tara. Thank you, Suzu. Yes, links in my bio. I still think it's KaylaLaughs.com, but tomorrow everything will be back where it's supposed to be, and the new link will work. But that's why I can't show you most of the community right now because it's all being deconstructed. All right, guys, any more questions? I'm about to call it a day or an afternoon, but I will be back at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. How much does it cost? We are about to make it where it's a bi-weekly payment. It's going to be about $97 a month, but it's going to be broken up over 2 payments per month. A lot of people asked for that. Or you can join for the entire lifetime for only $599. When we first started this in April 2024, it was $997 to join just for 1 year. So we just had a promotion for 3 months. You could join for the first 7 days for 99 cents. Then we switched it where you could sign up for $49.99 a month forever, however long you wanted to stay, or sign up for the whole lifetime for $5.99. But now it's time to get back to where we were. I don't know when we'll have another promotion like that. All right, guys, I don't see any more questions, but I will be back at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. I really appreciate y'all. We didn't have many trolls. I appreciate the love. I appreciate you listening, if nothing else. So I will see y'all soon.